Okay, check this out, if you will. Now, I'm going to need you to use your imagination. I'm going to build a world in which I think Jesus was alive in. Now, through my years and years of studying religion, all types of religion, I came under the belief that Jesus was a made-up figure, like a Hercules kind of a deal, or a stole Dionysus kind of a deal. Now, understanding the philologists and the classicists and the translations of the Greek, and this is coming a lot from pure source material. Okay, not an opinion, just reading the text and translating Greek texts, right? So, these are not my opinions. So, first off, you have to understand that the word Christ is a drug term. Alright? Salvation is a drug term. There are a couple others that we can go over. Now, okay, imagine this, if you will. Early Christian sects are out. There's multiple sects that are out there, right? And they're already in a power struggle with the existing power authority, which would be like, to my understanding, the kidnapped priestesses who were afforded different laws. They were super, super important to their culture and like dictated, to my understanding, like when you went to war, who had to be killed, stuff like that. People would come from all around to go talk to the oracles, talk to the priestesses, and get their advice. Okay, this is the world we live in. Now, I understand a lot of people think the agents were fucking dumb, and we just need to dispel these notions. These people were highly intelligent, and they weren't lazy. They didn't have all these stupid fucking 21st century gadgets and distractions. They were using their brain, they were using their bodies, they were way stronger and way fucking smarter than a lot of you motherfuckers. So build this world, trading post, all types of different things, warring religious factions. There's warring Christian factions of the way, and then they were fighting also with the priestesses, the Eleusinian mysteries, and so they would be. Then you had all the lay stases, which was Jesus was crucified as being a lay stase, which was like a child trafficker, a child predator. So what would happen is these early Christians would rape these young girls because they had a lot of the virgin girls had a lot of power, right? The females held all the power, and through biochemistry they would drug the girls and then like use the human body to extract the secretions, right? And then the hormones would change things to certain properties. Pretty interesting stuff, dude. It's really fucking interesting, way more in depth than you guys would ever thought. And so they would they're disrupting the culture, and they're killing and robbing little boys and raping the boys. The early Christian church is fucking horrifying. And so you imagine you got this guy Jesus, and Jesus was taken to Egypt, and it sounds like he was castrated himself and made to be a eunuch, and educated, learned the cult mysteries. Jesus himself knew the compound drug structures and stuff, and had knowledge of the burning purple and but he perverted the knowledge, right? So the knowledge came from the priestesses who had developed this knowledge base of medicines over thousands of years, just a long, long time ago. And then, it all started with Medea. The first is like the writings that I think are the first of her. So anyways, think about this world. Jesus running around. He's a young guy. He's got all these little kids with him, right? His children. They literally were children. He gets arrested in the Garden of Gethsemane with the little boy like early morning hours. The text talk about him stumbling around where he goes to the park and he's got people watching guard for him, and one of them's armed, which is against the law, shit like that. Like, what the fuck are you doing, right? And SWAT team comes, a Roman SWAT team comes, arrest him. They have that little morning meeting of like, who are they? Pick Jesus or pick the Barbarius or whatever. I can't remember his name at the top of my head. I'm drawing a blank. But they choose Jesus to crucify instead of the other guy, right? And so, like, why would they choose to kill Jesus over that guy? Well, because the crowd fucking knew what Jesus was all about. He was going around fucking perverting the kids, and, they knew what he was about. And so, but just think about this though. Okay, so the stuff the drugs that he was using, the compounds, the burning purple, right? The death inducer. This was said to, like, they would do these ceremonies and right, and be filled with music and fumigation and all these, like, these huge, like, overwhelming your senses, and put you into states of fear through venom toxin, and then bring you to death. And then, like, the antidote was like the dope and the antidote, they would like the caduceus, right? The two snakes. And but like I think I heard it explained, like, the antidote didn't stop the effects, it just stopped the killing effect, right? It stopped you from dying, but it let you still feel the effects or something. I think that's how it was explained to me, right? So they would induce you with all this terror, get a fucking satellite, a boner, and then things would happen. I'm not sure. I'm not back in the day. I'm sure things were a little more violent and more sexual back in the time. The porneia. And right, just don't think about these people as ignorant. They're not. And so, we're talking about the Greeks, okay? Like, this is like, everybody was speaking Greek at the time, right? Like, a really high Greek language, which is, as far as I can tell, is like a building block language, where, like, there are a lot of individual words, because, like, the speaker could create words and concepts as he's speaking, like, really cool shit, right? Kind of like, what we did with Bruzins and, for our twin family, we made up our own words with our language, but it's kind of a rudimentary example. So just think about Jesus, right? I also want to build a picture, and I want to take you deep into, like, so Jesus, like, understood, like, the veil of reality. And if you understand his writings, his teachings in Greek, what people write about him in the Greek, he talks about ionic life, not paradise, not everlasting life, none of that shit, right? Like, understanding what you are, right? More of a Gnostic understanding that he was preaching, right? And, like, some of the text that I was even posting about today, kind of going over, it's like he goes in and starts laughing at the apostles, and they're like, "Master, why are you laughing at us?" And he's like, "I don't blame you, but, like, to the fact that you're only doing this because if you're God and you're God's praise, right?" And he's like, "Your God, like, it's not my God." And he's like fucking making fun of them, and he's like literally telling them, "You guys serve the false God." And he's trying to tell them, but Judas, and he reveals the truth to Judas. But again, I think Jesus was a perverted entity, and his greed and his ego got the best of him, and so now when Jesus was going into the garden with the naked little boy, he was stumbling, right? He was under the influence of the death inducer, right? And you got to take it to two-part. You got to have the antidote as well, right? And then as the little boy runs away, it talks about the sindon, which is wrapped around his wiener, right? And so again, we're talking about biochemistry here, right? And, like, he needed to get the antidote, which is sometimes in the sperm, ejaculants of the prepubescence and stuff like that. It's kind of crazy shit. So the story goes that so Jesus is fucking gets arrested, and he's going through this whole fucking charade, and he's tripping balls on the snake venom fucking death inducer and shit. The venom of the snail, all that kind of shit, right? The burning purple. And so he goes up, and they choose him to die over Barabbas, and then they do all the horrible shit to him. Right, he's tripping balls, man, and he's like fucking. Apparently, because through the medical text, it talks about the theriac as like it makes you super fucking thirsty, and Jesus is on this cross screaming, "I'm so thirsty!" Right, like why would he be doing that? And then he dies early, ahead of the other two lay-stays, the child traffickers that are beside him, right, and and they were trying to give him the antidote on the sponge, right? So, and it didn't work. Did not work. So, he was tripping balls on snake venom. Didn't get the fucking antidote, and he talked. So, but the thing about it though, even as bad as he turned out to be, he was going around Christing people, right, with the purple, and exposing people to the Ionic mystery and the Volusian mysteries and the Ionic fucking truth, right, of our existence. And some of these they're multiple compounds. I'm talking like tens, like 60 different fucking 50 different chemicals, right, like deep, and it's written down. This is not like they've been hiding this knowledge. The theocracy of our world has hidden this shit for such a long fucking time, right? And anybody comes out in the academia world gets buried by it. And so I went and picked up some more literature today, and I'm really getting close to my book, and I just want to say that I'll post a little bit more about this, but through my early beginnings in the church, the Jehovah's Witness congregation, and then studying all other religions, and then I write my book, and I kind of been writing my book, and it changes as I read more and more, and I incorporate more, and it's just an ever-evolving thing, and because I'm just always getting more knowledge. But then, like, I learned about the writings of Judas, right? The secret writings of Judas and stuff, and I literally reconstructed backwards the story of the one. Like, it's fucking amazing, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about it, and kind of, because over the years I have everything written down, and so you can see how my mind started this endeavor years and years ago, and the morph it's taken, and then you can see now, because the sea scrolls were found in like 1945, right? So they were lost for like almost 2,000 years, 1,600 years or something. So all this information is just getting back out there, but it takes a while to circulate. And I'm just coming back around and learning about these writings. I've been researching all types of different religions. I'm coming back in the Christianity field and learning about these writings, because there's so much content about these things now on the internet, which is fucking fascinating and awesome. And so it's really cool. I can show you my evolution of my book, and then I can show you how it all builds. I re-engineered the story of the one with literally, as I learned through all the different fucking religions of the world, I reconstructed the Pairama, I literally reconstructed the Trinity, the Archons, the Eons, like I reconstructed the whole entire thing with my writings, and I did it as just on my own. But if you think about it, it's only logical, right? So it's where logic would put me, and I'm here now.